Hey, everybody. Thank you for requesting this private session that Meredith and I are getting ready to do. She's in the middle of what sounds like a hellacious move, and we are going to tap today on moving stress, which I'm pretty sure anyone who has ever moved from one abode to another has experienced in one way, shape, or form. If you're not currently moving, then maybe you can translate what we're about to tap on into something that you have going on in your life that is feeling particularly stressful. And if not, earmark it for a time when you are moving and come back to it. So, Meredith, tell me what is coming up for you, like the negative dirt about what's going on with your move right now.
Oh my gosh. So, financially, it's a different amount than like our house. So it's like, will we be able to make this? It's also how about the repairs on the house? How long is that going to take? Is it going to come together? Will I be able to set up my studio? Oh, I'll have to take time off my business because things aren't set up. I'm just like word vomiting here. But that whole world of just like, yeah, you get it. It's the whole world of just like, this is a colossal amount of shit that needs to be done as soon as possible. And I feel powerless at times to really do what I want to do because of the move and all this shit surrounding it.
Yeah. Yeah. In order to move into this next phase, you have to slow down a little bit. And if you slow down, then you don't feel like you can afford it.
Totally.
Yeah. No, I do totally understand that. And I've been through that particular conundrum many times in different ways. So, what else is it bringing up for you? The stress.
It's just bringing up the lack of integrity in the world with people, financial institutions, attorneys, just all of the legal bullshit and all the crap that we know isn't real and is totally made up, but becomes real and very important when you move. But it feels out of integrity for myself because it's like, we know that it's all made up. We can't take any of this shit with you when you go. It's not really real, like any of it. So in a way, I feel like I'm lying to myself sometimes, getting all this crap together for people that really don't give a shit. For
But you want
just
the house.
right. Like, so the house, it's not the house's fault that we have all these paperwork and all this bureaucracy around. It's not the house's fault. The house, the energy is all beautiful. It's not the house's fault that, different institutions want to make it really difficult for people to get stuff. It's all these made up rules that are really meaningless. So it's like a feeling like resistance against, your own desires and other people's free will affecting and impacting and influencing on a large scale the things that you have no control over and the things that you want. So that is also another way of powerless. Other people's free will and their knowledge and their choices actually influencing your entire future. What the realtor decides, everything.
And how does that, in a really primitive way, how does that feel? How does that make you feel?
Powerless, unworkable, angry. And that's the root of anger, really, perceived powerlessness. So, and there's different stages. So definitely frustrated, angry, yeah, powerless, worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're feeling it.
Yeah.
When are you actually supposed to be moving?
We have moved. We're in the middle of, like, we're on, technically, I call it the 4th day of hell. What's today? So we're done. So today kind of like, you're like the finale of hell. So now we actually have to close on the house. So we're kind of like in this limbo stage of like, oh, well, we need this form and we need this and we need, these other, now it's a little bit of the bureaucracy right before we slide into closing in like a couple days. So that's where we're at.
What do you want it all to feel like?
I want it to feel like I'm ready to work. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm like you just said in our previous conversation, I'm ambitious as fuck too. I have dreams and goals for this house. And I'm like, let's go. I want to start. And I feel held up by bullshit, by other people, and by just disorganization, just colossal amount of shit. And then, my own life. But the reality is, like you said, I have to take time off or slow down. You can't do everything in order to get all these other things that I want. So I do know that. It's just, it can be really frustrating because I really want it to just be over, you know?
You want to be enjoying that new home too, I'm sure.
Totally, totally. And be free, not be subject to what is this person saying? Did they let me? Did they approve? You know, did they look at my stool this morning and say, oh, she didn't get enough fiber. She doesn't get a loan. It's like, that's the craziness of the world that we live in. So
It is crazy. What do you ultimately want to feel when this is done? Like when you're moved into that house and things are unpacked and it's decorated and your studio is there, like what's the feeling you want to align with?
slow, calm, internal, introspection, close to nature, all the things that the house and everything is really about. Um, yeah,
Yeah.
just within me, not out here doing all this shit, you know?
Yeah. All right. So we're going to dig into doing this round of tapping. Lots of awesome information here. And the idea is we want to move you from this feeling of like total stress and frustration into some of that slow, introspective calm. Okay. So first we need to rate where you are with the frustration. So scale of 0 to 10, where 10 is the worst and 0 is I'm not frustrated. I'm already there. I'm already cool and calm. How much stress and scarcity and powerlessness and anger are you feeling right now?
Currently, right now, at this moment, it was at a 10 earlier before our conversation. I would say I'm at an 8. I'm at a steady 8. I'm at a solid 8.
Cool. I mean, it's kind of like, the conversation we had around power, and the only place you have any of it's right now. It only matters what you're feeling right now. If you were a 10 earlier, so what? It's gone. Now it's an 8.
Yep. Yep.
And we might lower it down and something else might spike it up later.
Yep.
It's fluid. So all we're going to do is worry about how you're feeling right now. But once you get the understanding that you can shift this now, then you can shift it again later. So, in one round of tapping, which is all we're doing right now, we can get a lot of things resolved, but it's hard to do much more than create a bit of a Band-Aid. Whereas like when I work with my clients more fully, we're getting to the root cause, and then we don't have to worry about it coming back once we get to the root. So yeah, just know like this is gonna be a fluid thing because you're kind of in the midst of this situation, but this is going to give you resources and ways that you can continue to use this to handle it if you find it helpful. So start by just taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, maybe hold it for a moment, and then release it out through the mouth. And excuse me. Then I'm just going to have you basically do follow the leader. And I'm going to tap a spot. You're going to tap the same spot. I'm going to say something. You're going to repeat it back. If I completely miss the mark, please feel free to change what I've said.
Okay.
And make it your own. Because like I said, it's over specificity. So if I say something that you're like, that is not it at all, then change it. All right. Even though this move is stressing me the fuck out.
Even though this move is stressing me the fuck out.
And I just want it to be over.
And I just want it to be over.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
Even though the process of home buying brings up a feeling of lack of integrity.
Even though the process of home buying brings up a feeling of lack of integrity.
And I hate having to deal with all of these institutions and bureaucracy.
And I hate having to deal with all of these institutions and bureaucracy.
I really do want this house.
I really do want this house.
And I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
And I deeply and completely love and accept myself.
Even though I feel so powerless.
Even though I feel so powerless.
And I keep having all of these thoughts around scarcity.
And I keep having all these thoughts around scarcity.
Scarcity of time, scarcity of money.
Scarcity of time, scarcity of money.
Scarcity of resources.
Scarcity of resources.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
Now we're going to start moving through the other points. This home buying process and this move have been a nightmare.
This home buying process and this move have been a nightmare.
All this hellishness aligned with making my dreams come true.
All this hellishness aligned with making my dreams come true.
All the financial bullshit.
All the financial bullshit.
The legal bullshit. The attorneys.
The legal bullshit. The attorneys.
None of it feels like it aligns with who I am.
None of it feels like it aligns with who I am.
And yet these are the hoops I have to jump through in order to have this home.
And yet these are the hoops I have to jump through in order to have this home.
And it doesn't feel fair.
And it doesn't feel fair.
I'm angry.
I'm angry.
I'm frustrated.
I'm frustrated.
I feel pissed off and powerless.
I feel pissed off and powerless.
And I just want to be able to get to work.
And I just want to be able to get to work.
And I feel like there's all this red tape.
And I feel like there's all this red tape.
And then there's the part of me that's worried about what's going to happen when we do get the house.
And then there's the part of me that's worried about what's going to happen when we do get the house.
Are we going to be able to afford it?
Are we going to be able to afford it?
What about my studio?
What about my studio?
And all the repairs that it will inevitably need.
And all the repairs that it will inevitably need.
How on earth are we going to keep up with it all?
How on earth are we going to keep up with it all?
Especially when accomplishing that means I can't work as much.
Especially when accomplishing that means I can't work as much.
There's only so many hours in the day. I can't do it all.
There's only so many hours in the day. I can't do it all.
And all of this red tape and bullshit is slowing me down.
And all of this red tape and bullshit is slowing me down.
Sometimes I just wonder what it's all for.
Sometimes I just wonder what it's all for.
Can't take it with me when I go.
Can't take it with me when I go.
But I really want this house.
But I really want this house.
So I'm open to the idea that I can jump through the hoops.
So I'm open to the idea that I can jump through the hoops.
I'm not the first person who has to go through all this bullshit.
I'm not the first person that has to go through all this bullshit.
But I sure wish I could be the last.
But I sure wish I could be the last.
Just calling in the energy of it all being done.
Just calling in the energy of it all being done.
Using my brilliant artistic mind to envision what it's all going to be like.
Using my brilliant artistic mind to envision what it's all going to be like.
All that slow and calm energy.
All that slow and calm energy.
What's making me feel like I can't have it now?
What's making me feel like I can't have it now?
What would it take for me to feel calm today?
What would it take for me to feel calm today?
What would it feel for my slowness and my ambition to coexist?
What would it take for my slowness and my ambition to coexist?
Just opening up to the idea that it's all available to me right now.
Opening up to the idea that it's all available to me right now.
Tap on the side of your fingers with me. With love.
With love.
Acceptance.
Acceptance.
Tolerance.
Tolerance.
Skip to your pinky and understanding.
And understanding.
I forgive myself for all of these beliefs that keep messing things up.
I forgive myself for all of these beliefs that keep messing things up.
And allow the calmness to come over me now.
And allow the calmness to come over me now.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
And I'm not giving my power away anymore to this bullshit.
And I'm not giving my power away anymore to this bullshit.
Nice deep inhale through your nose. Feel free to stretch or yawn or whatever feels good. And then just, you can have the floor, Meredith, and just tell me what you're feeling, what came up for you, what's going on.
In a way, I feel like I just took a shower. Do you know what I mean? Like an energetic shower.
Yeah.
So I feel like starting fresh. Like all of the shit before, the residual crap that was, we work through. It's just not there. So it's like, okay. It's more like a be here now feeling.
Good.
Yeah.
What would you say about that level of stress that we rated before? Where is that on a scale of 0 to 10 right now?
About a 4 or 5.
Beautiful. That's a huge shift
Yeah.
for 5 or 10 minutes of work.
Huge. Yeah. And some interesting questions to really look at that I ask myself when we're under stress. It's like we just forget, and thank you for reminding me.
Yeah, most of us don't have a whole lot that we really need to learn. A lot of us, we really just need a good reminder.
Yep.
I always say that, like, some of the best coaching I think I give and I receive from those who mentor me is often in the form of a reminder.
Yeah.
Something that just reawakens a knowing you already have that has just somehow fallen asleep on you. So I always say, like, if I'm working with somebody at this point, I would just ask you kind of like, what's left? Like, what makes up that 4 or that 5 that's still left? Focus in on that. And then you can apply the technique again, trying to get closer to that 0, which is kind of like the gold standard of like, we're good now. So, if you feel compelled to continue working on it today or see what comes up, or just allow this to guide you as different things come up. Because moving is full of stuff. I was moving into this home, which I consider like my dream home, while I was going through my EFT practitionership. And thank God, because I had a million ways to guinea pig it out on myself. And I don't think we would have actually survived the move. If anybody does listen to my podcast, the Becoming More Me podcast, I have a whole episode about the move. Like, when we came to do our walkthrough, there was literally like a waterfall in our basement.
Same here.
Oh yeah. Oh my God. Well, if you haven't closed yet, that's a blessing. And if you have, we had stuff happen before and after close. So we got it was both ends, but the amount of weird stuff like walls that had been like jerry rigged with expanding foam. And like just it was like mind blowing. And my husband lost faith in the house itself and everything. It was just like, you should have seen me on closing day just walking around here with my sage, just trying to smudge the shit out of here. I'm like, I don't know what's happening here, but like, I want to love you home. Like, I know we're meant to do this together, but something's wacky. So, and that was just like a little smidgen of what we went through, but I get it. I feel you. And I wish you absolute success and ease with just slowing down and enjoying it. You set out on this journey to, get this home and turn it into whatever it's going to become for you for a reason. So just keep that why and that reason closer to you than all the crap from the institutions and the paperwork and all the things that need signatures and all the stuff that feels kind of icky through the process.
Thank you. It's our dream home, like you were saying that it was for you. And thank you for being a part of it and just reminding me, of the things that I know, but we need to lean on each other sometimes and be reminded. And thank you. Thank you for that.
We're all just here to walk each other home. So good to link arms and do a little bit of that together. So for any of you that tapped along with us, if you're going through a similar situation, I hope you're not, but whatever you tapped on that's stressing you out, I love to hear from people. Feel free to drop me an email, Theresa at theresalearlevine.com. Let me know like what your level was at the beginning and the end, what maybe came up from you, or what you used this round to tap on for yourself. Do you like getting emails from people, Meredith? Feel free to give your email address if you'd like to hear from people.
Totally. My email is just my name, Meredith W. Ochoa, OCHOA @gmail.com. Feel free.
Perfect. And thank you for trusting in me to tap along with you while you're going through this difficult and challenging time. I appreciate it.
Yes, thank you.